when things are good, when things are bad. We like to hear from Steve Young and what he has to say about the San Francisco 49ers. And safe to say, he's not really liking what he's seeing from the 49ers this season. Take a listen to what he had to say on KNBR right here.
How we feeling about our boys, man? It's been a tough couple of weeks.
What I don't look, this is the part that really is the most problematic in many ways. Is I'm not gonna you have to have a grittiness, and and the teams that you have to have super talent and super grit. They have to come together, and the teams that have super talent and super grit, they're at the top of the league, and we've always been both. And so through injury, we've suffered a little bit, but what I don't like to see is not be gritty. And once you lose the grittiness, and that really is that's a group think. 50 people have this psychic ability to come together. Is psychic the right word? I don't even know. And to come together and have this like over my dead body. This is not going down this way. This is not happening. And what I don't like is when we can't look. You can get beat. I don't mind getting beat, and I never mind. Like it's like running a lot. You get beat, you learn. Like I'm okay with that. But you do not throw me out of the building. You do not push me. I'm a hard out. And if I get beat, it's because you took it from my bloody hands. And I know I say that a lot, but that's kind of that's where it has to be. And as soon as you lose that sense as a group, then things can start to devolve quickly, and that's why I'm afraid. I don't want to. We can always come home. We can always win games. There's still life. There's all of that hope is still there, but without that grittiness that you have to have, and it's not like no one can make a speech. Copes. No one can come in New Rocky can't show up and make a speech, and I was like, oh yeah, we got grit, baby, we're back. Like it is something that you almost have to earn in a weird way. And the best teams haven't. And the teams that really show it this year, like the Lions right now, there's a desperation. I'll call it desperate grittiness in their game, and you can see it when they're not playing well. The couple games they've just come back and just storm back to win because they know every win matters. And so we gotta. It's not gone. It can't be gone. Don't tell me it's gone, because it can't be gone. And we gotta find it.
Well, where does it come from, and is it something you can find this late in the season?
When people talk about Super Bowl hangover, it's a word that no one really understands how to contextualize. But what happens is it takes every guy kind of like coming in on studying on Tuesday night before the Wednesday when they kind of
implement
game plan day, right? It's like I turn the TV off on Friday night to go over it again, and then there's this sense when we're out to practice, it's perfect. Like we don't mess around. Like there's a sense that everything matters, every little thing matters, and everybody is in, from the equipment man to the trainer to the person who's driving the bus to every player, the coach. Like it gathers. And it gathers with what everybody sees and what everybody feels. And so that's hard to hold on to. It's like human emotion, as anyone in their life, you can't stay kind of in that readiness, ready to go, like gnarly spirit forever. Like there's ebbs and flows. And especially after what happened in the Super Bowl last year, it's gonna ebb. It's gonna, and so that's why what we needed in this season, because it was gonna ebb, is some space, and we didn't get it. We lost games that we needed to win so we could have the space so we could be 7-3 right now, 7-4. You know what I mean? And be just fine. And we didn't get it, and so then we're under the gun, and so now it basically gets stolen from you in Green Bay. It gets stolen from you in Buffalo. It gets stolen from you at home against the Seahawks. It gets stolen a little bit every time that you got beat by the Rams or by the Cardinals. Like, and it's hard to just manufacture. And I just, you're going to need leadership. The guys, Trent's going to have to get back and lead. Debo has got to be the de facto. He can't, give an inch.
Yeah.
And you got to feel that way. You got to feel that. And perceptually, teams now sense there's blood in the water on the 49ers, and they're predatory, and they're going to play that way, and you have to push them back. You have to jam them back, and that's offensively how you do it. Defensively, you have to jam and just push people back against their will, and you need your big boys to do it. The stars lead, and George and everybody else. It just has to happen that way. And defensively, same thing. But everybody smells blood in the water, and that makes the job of getting it back that much harder. And then if you go the season and we end up 8 and 9, and we're out of the playoffs, let's say, now you're with 20 other teams that have to go reclaim it, and you have to, and it doesn't get reclaimed overnight. So I think don't wait until the end of till January, July or August of next year to try to reclaim it. Let's do it in season right now when we're the most bruised and battered. Let's grab it back, and I think that's just leadership and just grit. You got to get it back.
What's going on, Steve? How you doing?
D-Money, what's happening?
Oh, just on this show now. I thought the show would have been better.
Just on the show now.
Oh, I don't really. Honestly, I personally, I don't like it because you were my advocate. You were like in the background and my advocate that I could go to you and I could say, D, was that crap? And you'd be like, no, it was semi-crap. It wasn't terrible, but it was like, and then you'd help me like come up with good songs, and you'd help me come up with good, like you were in my corner, and now I feel like
I'm still in your corner, Steve. I'm still in your corner.
I don't know, bro. It feels like you're out in front now.
Bro,
things are just different. Things are different.
He's in the ring now. Yeah, he's not a cut man. He's in the ring.
Well, Steve, I gotta be honest.
Man anymore. He's not. I need my cut man in the corner, bro. I don't know what's.
Cut me, Steve. Cut me. No, Steve. I mean, I did text you today for a song, and we could have come in with what's your favorite one? Like, the He's Mr. Ice Christmas, He's Mr. Snow.
All
right. Anyway,
coming to town.
All right. So seriously though, what'd you make of Brock in his first game back? 11 of 18 for 94 yards. The snow probably didn't help, but I didn't see him really rip the ball down the field. And I'm going to steal from Chris Collinsworth a little bit. I thought he held onto the ball a little bit too long against that Buffalo pass rush. Was it mainly because of Brock holding on too long, or do you think the offensive line just didn't hold up?
Again, we've talked about the creep. I think we talked about creep a couple weeks ago. And the creep that's coming from defenses that smell, again, predatory people, they smell weakness. And they don't feel like you can push back. And that game feels like, and then Brock in the snow, I didn't feel like I got the most out of. Now, look, when you're coming back from injury, you don't know if that's a piece of it, so we'll have to have a caveat for that. But the sense of his game was not a game that was going to push the Bills backward. Like, I'm coming, my presence is coming, and you're going to have to deal with it. And that's not Brock's best quality. That's not where he hangs out. But this season, when things have been tougher, he has been showing up more physically to go make stuff happen. And then when the ball falls out of his hands, it's just like again, it goes to all the stars of the team have to be make who they're playing against feel they're expanding, they're getting pushed, and that didn't happen. And so then with the predatory Bill, they just squeeze down. You can't get anything done. And that's why this week is really about making more space for this offense. And Brock's going to have to be part of the solution. It can't just be because Debo does it or George does it. Brock's going to have to be part of the physical presence because the game is so much about physical. It used to be just about execution. Execute, and you go to the Super Bowl. No more. It is an execution game still, but at its most exigent, important moments, it's a physical presence. I take the 11th guy out of the huddle, which is the quarterback, the one that's not necessarily thought of as being a weapon, physically down the field with his legs or in any other way, has to now become that piece of the puzzle that pushes people back. And a guy like Kirk Cousins can't do that. Jared Goff really doesn't do that. And so they have to go longer, more hard, difficult. In today's game, it's harder. And so Brock's going to have to be part of that, pushing the predators backwards. And the only way to do, think about predatory behavior. The only way to do that is kick them in the teeth and bloody their mouth. I mean, that's just the only way to do it. And so he'll have to do that this week and start. Otherwise, the whole league will start to, again, every week, you're going to run into this creep that's going to make things so much harder. And as a fan, you'll be like, wait a second, why is not Debo just running open every time?
Yeah.
Why are we gashing people with 10 yards at a pop? Why are we not? Where's our screen game that led the league overall in yards per attempt behind the line of scrimmage
last year?
Yeah, like where's all that? And all that is it's being taken away. It's being stolen, and you have to push it back in. And the only way. And look, when not everybody's healthy, I get that. But there were like we've had times when Jerry's out or Brent's down or like we had like people get hurt. You cannot allow the. I keep saying predatory league, but it keeps popping in my head.
Yeah.
The league is so. Who's coming up? I mean, it's the Bears, and then who is it after that?
Washington,
it's the Rams again, and then it's just gets. They watch everybody's desperate.
Who's coming in the driveway?
To shut you down. And the 49ers have been explosive and have forced people last year. Defenses capitulated. They were done. They quit. They were in the huddle yelling at each other like, we have no idea what to do because we were so explosive. It didn't even matter that we didn't have to have a physical presence. Didn't have to push people back with our physical presence. Well, this guy out of the huddle didn't matter. It was crazy in this day and age. That went against everything I've said. But now that we've kind of been mitigated a little bit, it's that part is on. And Sunday, the Bears, the Bears defense has got to feel punched in the mouth, and we got to figure out how to do that.
How do you react to people who put it on the others? Because you're talking about it, obviously, from a player perspective, too, from what you have to do in the quarterback spot, how you have to regain the grit as a player and all that. But what would you say, or how do you react when you hear people say it's on Kyle's play calling?
Look, I'm sure I would say that Kyle's innovative mind play calling, no one's perfect, right? So he's top 5 in the league, and unless he gets lazy or kind of tired, which I think neither is possible right now. That's where he's gonna be. That's who he is. So is he gonna ebb and flow in play calling where there's like, well, that was a mistake, or that didn't look really good, or he should have attacked it in a different way maybe, or yeah, I can open up some criticism for that for sure. Because not everybody, he's not going to be great every week. But generally, I'm not looking at deploying the assets that would have made, that's the difference. Because I think he's looking for options. He's looking for people who will be able to push people back on defense, who will be able to threaten. And in some ways, when people are hurting the offensive line, what's the offensive line? And that's where things really go haywire, is when, again, the predatory defense feels the offensive line, I'm not afraid of you. Like, we can come off of blocks and we can take care of things. We can do it with 4 guys and maybe 3 guys even. And we can, linebackers run free. Safeties feel like they have great visibility. Now play callers like, okay, so then now what? What's that special play against, the predatory defense that's kind of slows me down? Where's my speed? I need some speed. Somebody get outside and go. We don't have that. Okay, I need somebody who can, because you can't just tactics everybody. Sometimes you just need threats. And the best teams right now have those threats. And Brandon, unfortunately, out for the season, was our guy that could do that.
I think that is the most I have ever heard Steve Young stutter. He always is very, for the most part, pretty good with his words, and I think he was really trying to find the way of saying, like, just how unfortunate this year has gone, without like being too critical or too harsh, because obviously, he's very close to the organization, and I totally understand that. So it's like, you have to be able to give, authentic feedback, and opinions on it. And it just, it's just been an unfortunate year, for multiple different categories. Obviously, he talked about grit. He talked about Shanahan. He talked about Brock, a bunch of different things. So, hey, I think when Steve Young can't find the words to describe this season. It's pretty much about how this season has gone. Let me know what you guys think of what Steve said in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.